We're gonna go over the top 10 best updates that came from GoHighLevel's level update of 2024. This is gonna be one you're not gonna wanna miss. You're gonna have to see all these cool updates for yourself. So stay tuned and build along with us. All right, so level update was pretty monstrous this time around, and it had over 300 updates that they showed us that some were in the skateboard stage, meaning they were just early developed. There were other ones that were fully out, and there were some that they were like kind of in between. And today what we're gonna do is kind of rank them in rank order from 10 all the way to 1 of what we believe were some of the best ones. Now we're gonna do some honorable mentions because there was a lot of cool ones that are still in development that I think have great practicality but need a little bit more time to develop. But I gotta be honest, some of these updates really knocked it out of the park, and they're gonna add additional extra functionality that's going to make the experience great, not only for you, but for your customers. So to get right into it, let's first talk about e-commerce. E-commerce seemed like it got a massive amount of updates and critical ones that are really, really needed. So first and foremost, if we go into our level update, and by the way, this link will be right at the bottom of the comments. So if you want to check up all of the updates that came on level update, by all means, click on the link and check them out. But we're going to start with upsells. So the ability of having an upsell like you do if you go to, like, let's say a Shopify store was never really around, because what was happening is somebody would buy a purchase and then, or would have a purchase, and then immediately after they were done, they would just go to an order confirmation. Now we have the ability of creating a little bit of an upsell page that you can have products that go along with whatever product you had before. So if you have it here, and again, all the notes are inside there along with change logs, you can go ahead and now see that there's an adding an upsell element in the store element. So if you come in here, and I already created a page, but let me kind of show you what it is. I created a page, and what happens is your checkout page, you're going to have it redirect to your upsell page. And the upsell page is literally all you do is create a blank page, put some design around it. And inside the website kind of builder, inside of your store element, you got to have a store element first. You would hit add element, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and now you see an upsell page. So you drag that upsell page, that is part one of it. And then what you do is after you save and publish, what you'll do is you're going to come out of here, and in your product checkout page, you now have to redirect it to ensure it goes to the upsell. So I would go to my checkout. From my checkout, I would click on the checkout area. And then all the way down here on the sale actions go-to page, after somebody purchases the actual main product, you would go to the upsell page. Really cool update. It gives you the ability of now upselling, but again, very strong for what you need to do inside of e-commerce. The next update that we're going to do is your ratings and reviews. So now if you go into your product details page and you come in and edit, inside of here, you now can turn these on so people can leave reviews and ratings. So you click on the actual area here, show reviews and ratings right down at the bottom. So you can do it in here, and notice you have this ability to do here. And then if you hit the back button, there's another place you can do it on the product list. You come over to your product list page inside your store. You go into the products list area, and inside the products list area, you have the same ability. So you click on the product list area, and then you can show review and ratings. And it just adds the review area here, and you can moderate these reviews, control them. There's a whole entire place. If you go into the notes as far as where they have, there's moderation where you can do it. So inside you can sort and filter, and then in under payments, and under reviews and rating, which is going to be a brand new section under products, you'll have the ability of basically coming in here and approving the rating or not approving the rating. So you can do all of that. You can even reply to reviews inside the same area once you have it. So pretty big update. Now let's also move to this area right here, which I think is a pretty huge area. Now, for anybody that kind of understands, like in the e-commerce space, when you buy something for Shopify, let's say you're a casual buyer and you're always buying, let's say, clothes, maybe it's vitamins, maybe it's digital products that you want to download. What they've now created is a customer login area that allows the user to go back and see what they've purchased from the store. So it's like almost their own customer portal when it comes into that. And it looks something like this. You can see that it's going to be under settings inside of payments. You have notifications and the order confirmation email for stores. You can now send an email that's going to have a link for the customer to actually go in and see their purchases under the view order button here. That automatically goes in there. And this is what it looks like. Now, what's really cool about this is not only can they see their past purchases of whatever they bought, they can also get digital products if it has the download. Now, for all of you that don't know that you can store digital products inside your payments area, let me show you what I mean. If I come in here and I go into payments, and let's believe I want to create a course, a PDF, or something that I just want to deliver once, and I want to deliver it in a digital format like a file, what I can do is I can go into products, and I can select any of these products right here and make believe these products are a digital download, like a zip file. What I can do is I can come in here, and inside of here, when I click on the product and I say digital product under the pricing area, I now have the ability of uploading files directly. For somebody that's selling a guide or maybe a particular sheet, or that doesn't want to put it in the members area and you just want to deliver it in a digital download, well, now you have the ability to do that. And now the client has the ability to go in and actually view what they bought and download it again. Great for files, great for kind of PDF documents that you want people to kind of really access and have it stored digitally in their storefront. They can now do that. And there's a whole article of digital delivery for e-commerce stores. And it has a whole setup here. Again, you go into the variant area under the prices for the particular product. You click on it, you upload the document here, whatever PDF file, whatever it is. And then not only can you manage the different uploads in here, you also have the ability of then again sending that customer store login area where they can go in and basically grab whatever they need in that digital store when they access their downloads. Really cool update. Again, if you're doing books, anything of that sort, you would have it all in here, and then all you would have to do is basically come in here, log in, and download the book. Very, very cool. I thought it's a great exact feature, but again, e-commerce got a massive amount of updates. Lots to play around in here. Again, go into the Level Up Day. You're going to see a bunch of changelog items in here. You can also go to the actual changelog, and you could see everything that's been basically announced during Level Up Day. So that was number 10. Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here, but more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of High Level. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve, with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in High Level. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. Number 9, we're going to go into the dashboard. The dashboards have seen a good significant a bunch of widgets that now can be seen. So anybody that's good at designing dashboards, you can come in here and add a dashboard. You are now going to notice that you can have an existing dashboard. This is kind of a new interface. You can clone them, but I'm going to select create a dashboard. I'm just going to say Nuno's dashboard. And now we have email widgets, which we didn't have before. So if I come in here, let's go to opportunity status of whatever it is. Or let's add a widget. That's what I wanted to do. I come in here. I now have emails, accepted emails, delivered, open, soft bounce, hard bounce, failed, unsubscribe, all of that. General has been updated. So now this also has a few different opportunities. It has comparison charts that you can do. And again, it has elements, and you can now even have themes. So you can put like embedded other documents in here. You could always do that, but I just figured that the UI looks very different now and it looks actually really nice. And you can theme it by color, and you can even add your own color spectrum here. Visitor data, total funnel views, unique views. All of these are a lot of new features that weren't there before. So you have the ability of doing all of that now. So again, big update when it came to the dashboards, but again, now you can mess around with them. And what's really cool is there is a template library that you can load for your entire SaaS. So if you are an agency owner and you want to, let's say, preload dashboards that are customizable to your audience, you can actually make it a template and put it inside of your template shop for your actual people. So when they come in, they'll have the ability of like getting the template from the particular, from your SaaS or whatever else when they go into the template library for something that they want. And again, I'll show that as kind of an honorable mention towards the end, but I'll show you how to do that. Another cool one that I thought is game changing, especially because there's a lot of calendar issues that people have. Got to be honest, it's probably one of the biggest issues we see is people having issues with calendars. Well, now, if you go to a calendar, and let's believe that we'll go to a calendar setting, and one of these calendars you're having like a lot of difficulties with, you don't understand why calendars are not showing up or whatever else, you can now click on the 3 little dots, hit the troubleshooting calendar view, hover over any particular date and time, and it will give you the reasons of why it's blocked and why there were no available dates. So if I come in here and I click on that, Let's actually refresh the troubleshooting view. And it usually says Saturday is set unavailable. If there are other problems of why that particular date is not available, you hover over the particular date and it's going to give you a bunch of reasons why that particular date is not available. Really good and important. It gives you a troubleshooting view. And for a lot of customer service, trust me, calendars are up there. This does make the process easier when you have to solve any kind of calendar issues, which happen to be one of the top problems that a lot of people have inside of Highlevel. Another one is email segments. So why this is cool for a lot of people that are trying to get the deliverability up, what happens is that sometimes you got to keep sending to your engaged customers. So what you can do now is you go to marketing, right? And let's make believe you wanted to just send to the most engaged people that you have to kind of boost your open rates. You can come in here, go to a template, send out a campaign. But when you go to send, right? Send and schedule, you come all the way down here and you see how it has pre-built segments. Now you have the ability of sending contacts that engaged in the last 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, or subscribers engaged in the last 5 campaigns. So now you can have a really targeted area to like just basically send out and say, hey, these are the people that are really going to go out there and open up your emails. And I don't know if you can look to the right-hand side. You also have this coming up too, where you're going to be able to basically get a rating of whether or not your email is kind of high on the spam score and will help you get into the inbox a little bit more. And at the bottom, you can also see any critical or warnings that, sender info is missing, recipient info is missing, or an unsubscribe link in this case is missing. And what's really cool about that is these are all things that are going to help you get into the inbox and stay compliant. So pretty big update considering, again, this is like one of the really top problems with email deliverability, especially for everybody out in the marketing world. So this is going to be something pretty big that you would want to leverage and forecast, right? So the other thing that is really also that really important that came into here, it's kind of in its earlier stages, but I really think it's cool because it's introducing another dynamic element into an email. Now we got countdown timers, we have image sliders, we have products, we have drop-down FAQs. Well, now they added forms. So it's still in its early stages, but you can basically put in polls here of whether or not people want to do something, right? So if I come in here, I'm like, rate the overall, instead of seeing software of this email, and people can now give me ratings, and it tracks whatever they put in here. This is that dynamic element, meaning that they click inside the email and things that kind of show up. Really, really cool. But again, it's opening up the doorway for us to actually put full forms and surveys inside of the actual builder. Now, this first form and surveys, you have to actually like kind of build it out and upload a thumbnail for it. It's not quite there yet. I still think this is a little bit inside of kind of the building stages. It's not really formulated, but having these things here will open up the doorway of having small forms inside the email and even larger forms. But just obviously know that with this coming in, it's going to kind of open that runway for forms and surveys to be in the actual email. How cool is that? That would solve and make emails so much more interactive, especially if people would have to put polls or stuff inside of there. Remember, the more clicks that your email gets, the higher the open rates, the higher the interaction rates, the better your email reputation. So again, this is a big, big win for email. And again, dynamic elements being introduced is very exciting for emails because it causes more interactions to happen in the emails and people not just kind of like throwing them away and not doing anything in there. So big update there. Thought it was really cool. So that was number 6. Coming in at number 5 is the Google Drive for media storage. This is huge for me. I live on Google Drive. You now have the ability of connecting your drive here. All you have to do is hit this. It will automatically ask you to log into one of your accounts. Once you log into one of your accounts, it does the automatic connection and you're able to pull all your files and basically download any of the files coming in there, which I thought was really, really cool. There's also different organization things. You can have better searches in here. You can upload documents into a file and you can select multiple documents now versus before. So again, nice update. Love the Google Drive integration because again, I'm a big fan of Google Drive if you all haven't watched any of the videos, but it's something that is pretty big and we are loving this update. Custom objects, still in its infant stage, but why this is important. So for anybody that has been in larger CRMs, I'm talking about Salesforce, HubSpot, or any kind of very intricate CRMs like mortgage softwares or anything like that. Usually what happens is that let's make believe I own a karate studio. In a karate studio, right, I have the parent. The parent might have 3 children, each at different ages, different sizes. Let's say they're getting their belts for karate, so different belts. and everything else. Well, the problem with that lies in is that I can't create the association between the parent and all the children. And if the children have all these different things, I basically have to create different contexts. It creates a mess, and it's really, really hard for us to manage. So things like that were never really possible in here. Well, if you introduce custom objects, what happens is now you can create associations. So I have a parent, the parent has 3 children. I can have all 3 children basically under the parent. And then later on, not quite necessarily yet, but later on, what can happen is that now whenever that child has, let's say, a birthday or they get a new rank, I can create automations that work off the custom objects that go back to the parent. Now, a little bit too technical. It's kind of hard for me to like show you guys, but custom objects is going to be a massive game changer for these kind of situations. People have a mortgage, right? They have a house. The mortgage itself has a bunch of different factors. So you'll be able to connect the mortgage to, let's say, the property and that property to the clients or vice versa. So it will be something very similar to that. You know, again, it just depends on the association, but let me give you an example. You're going to go into settings inside of here, right? Inside of settings, I'm going to go over to objects. And again, this will be much more in depth. The only thing is this is in the skateboard stage. We can create the custom objects and we can associate them. We can't really do anything when it comes to automations just yet. That's why I don't want to go deep into custom objects yet. I kind of want to wait for that to roll out because that's where things are going to get cool. But for instance, right? I come in here, I add a custom object. We're going to call the custom object parent or family. Let's call it family. All right. And then it's going to be families is the plural, family name. And it's a single line in the text, right? I can change the icon to be whatever it is. And then I can give it a description, families for karate school. I mean, yours can be whatever. And again, I don't want to go too deep into this because we can spend all day on custom objects, but this is going to have a lot of really cool feels for it. I'm going to create the custom object. When I can create the custom object, I then can come under families. And as you can see, I have it here. And now I can create associations, create an association. So it's going to go under contacts and the name of the association again would be family, would be whatever it is. But then what's going to happen is I can create custom fields for all of these things. Again, don't want to go super deep into this. There's going to be a whole video on this when this fully rolls out, but understand that this coming in is going to be a pretty significant game changer for everything that we're going to do inside the software. And it's going to enhance the software to be very comparable to like a Salesforce, to be very comparable to a HubSpot in this kind of like CRM, big database entry ability. So just know that this is a big one. It's still kind of in the early stages, but the fact that we have it, you can start building them out now. You just got to kind of figure out the layout of it. But there's a couple of great videos out there already that people have been in the beta stage that have this all kind of figured out. But in the meantime, you can play around with it, start building it if you're one of those individuals that need these associations. But this is a pretty big one. We have this at number 4 because this can be a game changer for the whole thing. But again, honestly, it's still in the skateboard stage, so it needs a lot of love. So we're going to wait until it kind of overly develops. Another big thing, big changes in the client portal. I'm going to show you this because I thought this was pretty neat. You're going to come in here. You're going to see that now when people log into the community or to the course area, they're going to go in here and they're going to not only see what they've recently done, their course progress, but they're also going to have the ability of joining any kind of group that's available to them, taking a course, seeing the invoices that they paid in here, seeing the contracts that they have, and basically manage any subscriptions that they're party to. Why this is important is it gives you a really good way for people to manage their customers all in one place. And again, it's going to be able to then just be a one-stop shop for anything that you have to do with the customer. Really big update. Love where they're going with it. So the next big update that kind of goes with the client portal is going to be the branded app and why this is important. Now, if I go into our membership area and I go into communities and I go to branded mobile app, the reason this is so important is for one big thing. You can create your own app that's going to have like a very big app feel where you can host your community, basically have your courses in there. You can build a brand identity by creating logos and actually have it on the app marketplace where people can download it inside of Apple or an Android. But one of the bigger things, besides having communities in an actual app, which will create better engagement, is the fact that you can send push notifications. Why is that important? Because one, it's not regulated by text message or email. It means that if I ever wanted to send a message to all my group members, I can send it through the push app, and the push app will show right at the top of your phone has a notification which has a higher conversion rate of people reading and doing whatever it is. So for people that have large audiences, and only for people that have large audiences, this is a great way to communicate with your audience because it gives them the ability of seeing the push notifications, being in a branded app to collaborate, watch courses, do whatever, and have that engagement level there. Huge, huge update. Kind of involves a little price. It does involve creating a DUNS number, paying for the DUNS number, which is anywhere from $100 to $300, and then paying the fee to have the app hosted inside at the Apple Store. But for people with large audiences that want to create that very private community that allows you to push notifications and communities, it is a pretty big win. So this is why it's a number 3, because again, it gives you a new way to collect revenue, push information directly to your customers in an unregulated fashion that happens only inside your app. But again, really big news for anybody that has larger audiences. And again, there is a cost factor to it that is associated with getting this, but at the end of the day, it is pretty large. Inside this whole other area too, number 2, the big update is the GoKollab marketplace. Now, the GoKollab marketplace is basically,
and grow your audience.
Big video comes out. What happens here is GoKollab is an area where people are going to be basically able to see your entire community. People can search for your community, and it just creates a different way to interact to get people in to any community that's out there based on their liking. Think of it as a large search engine. What's really exciting about this too is that they've paired up with Dean Gaddiosi and Tony Robbins in kind of promoting this and getting this out there. So it's going to give people that have smaller communities the ability of getting the community out there for free. That is very easy to join. Get your community registered. And I got to be honest here, we're using it for ourselves because I am trying to push a big Portuguese and Brazilian community inside of Highlevel. And I want to do that through GoKollab and more importantly, through our community. And it's going to be a great way for me to basically free advertise the community that's out there for Portuguese speaking individuals, right? So just a thought, but again, this is coming in at number 2 because this gives us a marketplace to publish or push our communities and the communities for our clients, which is going to be a pretty huge update. Now, coming in at number 1, and I have a whole video solely dedicated for it. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you go and check it out. I'm going to link it up here for you, and it will be the next video in queue. But I got to tell you, AI Employee has completely blown my mind for the simple fact that it's things that are already out there. And if I was going to put my money on what's growing out there and for you to get involved in and selling services is creating an AI employee. Now, what's brilliant about this whole approach is it includes a whole bunch of AI technology that you pay one standard fee for, and it comes with unlimited usage. Now, why is that important? So think of it like this. If I today decided to open up a med spa business and I needed to pay a receptionist, I also needed to pay maybe like an email campaigner, somebody to do my workflows and everything else. You're running up a bill that's going to be a couple $1,000s a month. Now, if I'm a startup and I don't have that kind of cash, maybe I'm a solopreneur and I'm like out there and I have to manage a front desk while taking clients, that becomes a little bit of a challenge and almost really hard for anything to do. Well, here comes in your AI employee, and now you have an employee that you're paying basically $97 a month for, or $97 to $127, depending on whatever the agency charges is. But regardless of which, regardless of the price, even if it was like at $200 a month or $300 a month, I'm still not paying for a full employee. And the way they have it now, Voice AI came out of the gates incredibly strong. It's in its first iteration. I got to be honest, usually Highlevel builds in like kind of this like skateboard kind of phenomenon. I got to be honest, it was ridiculously good right off the gates. We're using it. We've run a couple test scenarios. It is really, really decent for its first iteration. And the fact that it's the first iteration, I can't wait to see how it upgrades. Now, what's really, really cool, if you look at the AI employee on Level Up Day, they have a whole section to it. They have videos that go over the whole entire thing, but the AI employee comes with so much. It comes with Voice AI, which you'll see in the next video, is absolutely amazing. Conversation AI, which has always been there, but now we have version 2 of it. Reviews AI, so you can quickly respond to reviews that come into your local store or your coaching business or whatever it is. Content AI that helps you write the content for social media, email campaigns, and funnels. Workflow AI assistant for anybody out there that's struggling with workflows, doesn't know how to really build one. It will actually give you suggestions on how to build where you're basically filling in the blanks. And then Funnel AI, believe it or not, it's still kind of in its beta stages, has a little runway to go, especially with pictures and kind of what puts on there. But you literally ask 3 questions, you put it in there, you put the industry that you're in, and then believe it or not, in like less than 3 minutes, you have a pretty good starting base of a funnel that has FAQs, what the business is about, a login menu, all kinds of things going on in there in a one-page format. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little impressed what all that stuff does. But what blew me away, honestly, was the voice AI and the fact that it answers phone calls. It's got a humanistic voice. There's almost barely any delay, and it works really well right off of the gate. Now, again, if you're gonna check out anything, definitely check out that other video because I go over a whole entire setup. It is really game-changing based on all the things that it can do. And I go over pretty much all of those features, the full AI employee in that video. So make sure to check it out. But again, that came in as number one. Now, there's a couple of other things that are honorable mention just because of the directions that they were going. First and foremost, we got quizzes. Now, quizzes are exciting because it does open up the avenue of getting other things. The only thing about quizzes, as far as what it does right now, it doesn't necessarily connect to automations just yet. But I gotta be honest, it scores. It gives you the ability of creating a landing page, well, a scoring page, I would say, based on the different people scoring, that it gives them results. But what I'm waiting for is for the quiz to also tie in to automations, which I've already been told is coming very shortly. So quizzes are good. It's almost there, but it's kind of an honorable mention, just the simple fact that it doesn't have the connections, almost like custom objects. I need those automation connections to be there in order for this thing to really work well. And then the other honorable mention is webinars. Webinar funnels are okay, right? It creates a webinar funnel, it uploads your video, it does all that. Is it good starting base? Absolutely. But what I'm excited about here is that I believe that Highlevel is going to give us the ability of hosting webinars directly in the software. Now, I got to tell you, if that happens, that is going to be a massive game changer because the cost of webinar software is incredibly high. It's very costly per month. It goes by guests and everything else. So if Highlevel figures out a way to integrate incredibly well with other webinar software, or it does it directly inside a Highlevel, now we got a massive game changer when it comes to that. Again, wasn't really impressed when we create a webinar. It does go, you come in here, you hit continue, you put the name of the webinar, you select the form, you upload a video, and it just like puts in a template per se, and you only have 3 choices of a template for the webinar. Is it good for kind of newbie people that don't know webinars and just want to get something up and quick? Absolutely. They didn't impress me overwhelmingly, not yet. But again, I personally think that this one is in the skateboard stage, where I think they're going to put a little bit more development and it's going to make it super exciting. So that's all that we have. Those are the top 10 that we kind of wanted to cover with a couple of honorable mentions. But more importantly, check out all 300 something plus updates on the changelog in the level update that I'll include at the bottom, and go play with some of these features. Some of these are going to be massively game changing, and some of these are going to be built, and you can see the bases being built, that it's going to make it very exciting as this thing's developed. Like custom objects is not something to sleep on, for sure. And then more importantly, if you get webinars in here, or we got the quizzes really firing in all octanes, we're going to be in a much better place. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.